Growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, before the internet, before cell phones, before cable TV, before Pornhub, before we had anything that was easily accessible, finding ways to entertain yourself indoors was no easy task. This was back when you had to wait for your favorite song to come on the radio and have a tape cassette readily available to hit that play/record button so you could listen to that song whenever you wanted. I'm pretty sure I still have my copy of Ice Ice Baby being played on Z100. It was a simpler time back then. But because of that, you always found creative ways to keep yourself entertained indoors. Crazy how I would spend countless hours recording The Simpsons on Fox 5 on VHS tapes as a kid to increase my collection, only to have the DVDs come out years later. Such a kick in the nuts. Then, years later after that, after buying seasons 1 through 12 on DVD, they were all available on demand for free. You serious? Ironically, nowadays, I don't even watch a single episode anymore just because I have access to millions of movies and TV shows through streaming services at a click of a button. Funny how that works, right? Now I just mainly watch funny parts through Instagram clips. But back then, like I said before, you would find ways to keep yourself entertained indoors. Tiger Electronics, your tape cassette Walkman, your Game Boy, your Atari 2600 on a black and white TV, your left hand with a jar of Vaseline, VHS movies, and of course, board games. The game Monopoly needs no introduction. If you're watching this video, there's a 99.69% chance that you've played this classic board game before. Of course, back during the 8-bit and 16-bit era video games, every board game or famous TV game show turned into a cookie-cutter video game. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, Battleship, Chessmaster. I actually did a video on this before. I guess you can even throw Dungeons and Dragons in there too. And of course, obviously, Monopoly. Believe it or not, this 16-bit version on the Sega Genesis is actually a fun way to play this game. Look, it's not going to win any awards, blow you away with its music, graphics, or animations, but it has it where it counts, the fun factor. This isn't going to be a long video just because, well, there's not much to see. It's Monopoly, but let's check it out. I actually grew up with this game and I played it a lot. It was actually the only way I could play this game ever. My siblings never really wanted to sit down for hours and play, but I get it. It's tough to get someone to play with you in person, especially Monopoly. Regardless, this game is a timeless classic. Great thing about this is that you don't have to set up the board and you have AI bots to play with. This game is actually great to play with by yourself and the computer. Of course, you can't play this game with just 2 people in my opinion. You gotta do at least 3. There's an option for 8 players, but Jesus Christ, 8 players? 3 to 4 is a perfect amount in my opinion. Maybe 5, but 3 to 4 is the way to go. Cool thing about this game is that it has quality of life options such as game speed, how much money you can start with, assigning certain properties to certain people, houses, etc. So you can customize the game to make it uneven or, have fun with it. Pretty cool. I know this game was released on the NES, and I heard it's a great version, but I never played it before. I actually love the animations and sound voices on this version, as you saw before, and I'll show you some quick ones right here.
Talk to me coming back here now.
But yeah, overall, this is a fun way to play Monopoly. The biggest downside of this game, in my opinion, are 1, you don't really have a home map feature to see what properties you own in one shot. You can really only see it one at a time by clicking through them, but there's also a grid of all your assets when you're making a trade, so you can see it there, like here. And the second thing, speaking of trades, is that the bots will actually make a lot of trades with you, slowing down the game. And these trades will usually be repetitive, but not too bad. But at the same time, it's like, okay, dude, for the 5th time, I'm not trading Baltic Avenue and Reading Railroad for Park Place. I will say, though, the bots are no pushovers. They're pretty smart, and they'll try everything in their power for you not to collect a set of properties/colors where you can start building on. And that's where playing the computer becomes fun. It's an honest challenge. Also, forgot to mention, the biggest downside of this game is no replays and no takebacks. If you click a button or accidentally accept a trade that you didn't want, there's no going back from it. Like, if you accidentally hit 10% of your total assets when you land on the income tax space instead of the $200 option, guess what? You're paying that $600 to $700 because you forgot you own 10 properties. But yeah, no reverse on that one. So play slow when doing trades or when the game gives you an option. Good news is that a loose card of this, as of 2023, is $1.99. Complete in box is $9, probably cheaper if you get it through an auction. Cheaper than buying the board game itself. Honestly, this is a great way to play with your kid. Do a 2-player and add a bot to the mix, and you can blow through the game in 69 minutes for 3 players. No joke, I finished this game that you're seeing here in 69 minutes. That's not even a joke. Definitely recommend putting the game speed on fast, though. No sense in slowing down moving the pieces across the board. But overall, it's a fun way to play Monopoly, although nothing will ever beat playing it at a table with your family. I'm sure there's other versions of Monopoly video games that might be better, like on the N64, Super Nintendo, etc., whatever, or on the PC. But hey, I'm not going to sit here and play all 15 versions and give my opinion on every single one of them. But let me know in the comments below if you owned a different version or this version, and let me know the memories that you had with it.